Hey folks, good morning, really, still morning. Hopefully you're doing well. I'm taking a quick break. I want to talk about something that's very important to me. It's been important for me for years. One of the things that is really disturbing, but is something that people become complacent about, is the idea that individuals with certain leadership and power, doesn't matter what they are, should have a level of trust. That's the truth. But the problem with the trust is an accountable trust. So I was just reading an article, and it's an article that is, what do you call it, not new, but it's a disturbing article about individuals in certain positions around the country where they have sexually assaulted children. A lot of people, no matter who they are, we have to understand and believe that people of certain statures, certain jobs, certain position should not be obligated to have some kind of security when there's evidence presented that put them at odds of those rules and laws. One of the things that I believe in is that an independent group should be the source of every investigation that comes to mind when it comes to sexual assaults, to any kind of sexual crime that is connected to a agency or group or whoever it is. And they need to be individuals who are trained and who are qualified to do those investigations. But the post today is about something I read that is really disturbing. A lot of investigative reporters and investigators, independent investigators, have been investigating law enforcement, have been investigating religious leaders, and so on and so on, even corporate leaders. What is important in any investigation is the point of trust. We cannot demand any kind of what would call it. Don't look back at the situation type stuff. Let the investigators investigate and do their job. But the problem is there's two kinds of situation that has happened in the last few years. There are narratives that can be both false and true. And that is why it's important for investigators to investigate each one with diligence and accuracy. But when it comes to investigating sexual assaults committed by individuals with power within the community, within the region, within whatever vacuum of leadership or control, you have to have that kind of balance of integrity, character, and also accountability. But what really is sad about this article, I think this is from the Washington Post, if I remember right, is that they're noting, and it's been proven, that a lot of these individuals who committed these crimes are getting out of those problem situation because they're covered by their agency, their group, or some leadership above them. Passing the buck attitude doesn't help victims at all, but it also increases the chances of the individual who committed a crime to find other victims in other ways, in other means, in other places. I talk about this because I've read so many documentation, many, what I call it, um, information coming out from cases and after cases where they were given ample evidence, and somehow these people who committed crime got off, and in some cases, flee. They fled from they ran away from the area, protected by other agencies or groups or people. And the victims are sitting there wondering what can they do. And in some many situations, the time has elapsed. One of the victims in one of these articles I was reading just a few months ago said it best. You don't protect the people who committed a crime. You don't protect the sanctity of what group or agency or job you're trying to protect. What you're doing is you're protecting the people who done the crime, and you're hurting the victims and the institution they worked at. There is no such thing as supporting the the accusers. It's about supporting the victims, and that is an aspect I was reading that makes me wonder how can people just continue doing the same thing, not protecting the victims and providing a way for accusers to escape. No matter what you believe is right or wrong, there's one thing that is paramount about this article and every article I've read is that we need to trust ourselves to do the right thing. In my case, if a situation comes up, the question I ask, what would I do if this was the situation where the victim was a member of my family or my friends? What would I do? That's a question people need to ask. No matter what you believe in, the judicial balance is based on we have to do what's right, but at the same time, protecting both the victims and accused have to be balanced. And letting investigators who are qualified and trained to do what's right and give them the independence with accountability is a paramount task each community have to do. We cannot protect the individuals who are accused of victimizing these children. But the same token, knowing if the accusers are people of certain power or position doesn't should not be something that limit our ability to go after. Sexual assaults in this country, no matter who they are from, and who's the affected victims, victims are victims. We need to help them. It starts with us trusting ourselves, doing the right thing. I just want to post this because reading this article really made me think about how can we all be so callous of hiding the situation and willing and making the victim wait for years to get justice. In the end, what we do today will reflect what's going to happen in the future. Our actions, limited or not, powerful or not, we have to stand up together and make a difference towards the victims and help them get justice no matter how many years it has passed. So what do you think? Do you think the point is true today more than ever? So take it easy, stay safe, and of course, have a nice day.